2024 is shaping up to be a phenomenal year for video games. While there are numerous big hitters with firm release dates on the horizon, unusually for this time of year, there's a significant portion of upcoming titles yet to confirm their launch dates. Here are 15 such titles, which at the time of this feature's creation haven't announced exactly when they'll be out. Frostpunk II. Societies were pushed to breaking points in the first Frostpunk game, battling against environmental threats and existential dread in an Ice Age apocalypse. Its sequel, set 30 years after the blizzard ravaged Earth, asks not what mankind can do to survive freezing temperatures, but how they will avoid succumbing to a new deadly threat: the enemies and their thirst for power. Developer 11-Bit Studios have announced Frostpunk 2 will launch on PC in the first half of 2024, with an exact date or window for subsequent console release unconfirmed. Hades II. After Hades garnered extensive critical acclaim for its gameplay, a sequel is en route. That is, for early access on PC in Q2 2024. The exact amount of content available is unknown, but development will mirror the original. Subsequent changes will add new mechanics, new content, and further updates as Supergiant Games refines the systems based on player feedback. Even if version 1.0 takes time to launch, the promise of new weapons, locations, upgrade systems, and challenges to go with new mechanics is already exciting. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. There's high chance Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown will end 2024 as the year's marquee driving title. Despite it appearing to copy a little too liberally from Forza Horizon's gameplay loop, the open-world, 1-to-1 scale recreation of Hong Kong looks absolutely spellbinding. It'll be a joy to cruise through behind the wheel of a sports car, that's for sure. Listed as coming soon on Steam, its expected Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown will be out in 2024, with PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch the playable platforms alongside PC. Still Wakes the Deep. First-person horror Still Wakes the Deep forsakes players to a creepy oil rig, whose remaining crew are fighting to survive against an unknown threat. What we're up against remains to be seen. Is it monsters, something paranormal, possessed crewmates, or something else entirely? Thankfully, it doesn't seem like we have long to wait. Despite there being no firm release date, it's expected the Chinese room's latest will launch in early 2024, with PS5, Xbox Series, and PC the announced platforms. Silent Hill II Remake. The modern recreation of this bona fide survival horror classic is on the horizon, yet despite it seeming like an age since Silent Hill II Remake was announced, we're still not exactly sure how close that horizon is. While not making any story changes, recapturing the distinct brand of fog-strewn dread 2001's OG release is famous for is taking Bloober Team some time. It's a PS5 console exclusive alongside Windows when it eventually does surface, with 2024 expected to be the year. Ark II. All eyes are on Studio Wildcard as they put the finishing touches on the sequel to their popular survival game. Graphically, Ark II looks incredible, and its cast, featuring Hollywood heavyweight Vin Diesel no less, is promising. Let's hope we don't have to wait too long until we can get our hands on it and see how good it really is. Ark II is anticipated to come out sometime in late 2024, with Xbox Series and PC the only confirmed platforms to date. The Altars. Frostpunk 2 developer 11-Bit Studios has another game in the pipeline alongside their ice-aged strategy sim, and that is The Altars, a science fiction-based building survival game driven by what they term life-defining choices. Protagonist Jan crash lands on an inhospitable planet and must forge clones of himself that'll work together to escape. It's an intriguing premise, especially seeing as all the alternate Jans possess sentience with aims, emotions, and ambitions of their own. The Altars will release to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC in 2024. Thrasher. VR-only Thrasher comes from the artist and composer behind 2016's rhythmically violent Thumper. A mind-melting cosmic racer, Thrasher demands players swoop, dash, and thrash via gesture control across a kaleidoscope space-time continuum. The composer responsible, Lightning Bolt bassist Brian Gibson, has delivered a typically thumping soundtrack, syncing perfectly with the visuals to provide an experience bearing all the intensity of its predecessor, releasing sometime in 2024. Star Wars Outlaws. Upcoming action-adventure Star Wars Outlaws is a refreshingly gritty take on the Star Wars universe. Assuming command of streetwise scoundrel Kay Vess, players will shoot first and ask questions later, incoming on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC this year. Replaced. 3 years have been and gone since pixelized cyberpunk platformer Replaced was announced. The most recent delay came with the awareness that releasing a subpar experience was out of the question. Expectation is high with this one, especially after 2022's second trailer, showcasing an altogether more gothic vision akin to the Batman. Hopefully this will be out this year, and it's a Microsoft exclusive, meaning PC and Xbox consoles only. Concord. Sony's next big thing, perhaps. Concord is a PvP multiplayer FPS from first-party developer Firewalk Studios, and while it's relatively elusive compared to PlayStation big hitters Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and The Last of Us II Remastered, it does represent one of Sony's most visible forays into live service in the coming year. Narrative and gameplay remain mysterious, but vibrant visages of interstellar travel, moody interiors, and a retro future aesthetic certainly pique interest. Confirmed to release in 2024 on PlayStation 5 and PC. The Wolf Among Us 2. Telltale Games' neo-noir murder mystery The Wolf Among Us has garnered a cultish status in the decades since its episodes were released. Fans gobbled up the superb blend of detective fiction populated by folkloric characters, based on Bill Willingham's Fables comic books, so this sequel has been hotly anticipated since the first of its 2 announcements in 2017. Unfortunately, while not officially canceling the game, Telltale have suffered delays, mostly to avoid worker burnout, but most recently due to staff layoffs. The Wolf Among Us 2 is still slated for a 2024 release, with current and past-gen PlayStation and Xboxes still planned alongside a PC version. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Long rumored before finally being announced in May of 2023, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a remake of arguably the most adored of Metal Gear entries. And barring any delays, we expect this release to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC of this year. We haven't seen anything of final gameplay yet, but the cinematics look fantastic, with a Kojima-less Konami reassuring us that this remake will feature all of the original voice characters, storylines, and features of combat survival, but elevated and evolved. Let's hope they don't keep us waiting, huh? Little Nightmares 3. Mono and Six are gone, replaced by Low and Alone, but apart from the new protagonists, Little Nightmares 3 exhibits the same shuffling terror of its predecessors, thus expectations are high for this more lore-heavy of sequels. Akin to Little Nightmares 2, Low and Alone must work together to escape the grim locales they're trapped in. Creeping humanoids akin to the Fat Guests, plus an oversized baby monster in last year's announcement trailer provided glimpses of the foes our tiny duo is up against. Coming to current and last-gen consoles, plus Switch and PC in 2024. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Like the plot of a dumb 80s action movie, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando follows a ragtag band of mercenaries as they take on undead monsters. Expect plenty of gunfire in this co-op FPS thriller alongside slabs of over-the-top humor, befitting of Carpenter's best. Coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC with a planned release in 2024. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.